Bring me a hat for rain or sun, it makes no difference. I only look at clouds and how they pass. I'm out in the field again, with the golden plovers, the lapwings in a rut, scratching for seeds. I waited for children to come and laugh at my sagged state, me with spindle fingers, flapping ragged legs, but they all stay away these days. Down the Lonnings they're gone, to feast from better homes and grow tall there. What use is my thin hair, weak smile, and outstretched longing arms? Feet dangled over clay, I stay again, for another season of hope, in years of barren drought, harvests for old lovers, chances passing. I don't know what I see when I see this landscape, any landscape. I don't know what I'm meant to see. Sky, waters, grasses, mud, trees, elevation, or glass, steel, concrete, the icons and relics of life. It's all too literal, too frightening. What we really see is the horror of ourselves, our losses, failures, our great hollow hopes. We see our brutality, our needs, our desires. We see our attempts to diminish landscape, our fight against it, and its unwillingness to be anything other than itself. This landscape, and the birds that know, the trees that know, everything is flux. The tension between what is transparent, what is opaque, what might become clearer, what is buried, what we bury. In the flux is language, then words, now words, words, then words, more words, words upon words, swelling, drying up. Words like soil, words like stone, metal, air, the sound of words. I don't know what I'd missed when I returned here, but there were absences and also new things, things where once there weren't things. Woodlands, a ferry across the river, playing fields. More than a decade between me, us, then, me, us, now, home then and home now. We all remembered different things. It's impossible for it to be otherwise. A plastic bag, for example, hanging from a tree near Fortune Park. Warm fresh milk from a placeless farm somewhere north. A recruitment office somewhere around a corner. A trip of great importance that now I don't remember, recalling only its sense of importance. I love those moments, when you have no idea whether the moment you're in will be a moment you remember, but you want it to be so. It feels like it should be so. Moments off record. Moments when we know that cameras make us blind. Moments when memory will have to do. Moments when true memory, and its impossibility, is enough. Summers are livered yellow and blue, like faded carriages of 70s British Rail trains, pulling from Southminster for the old soot of Liverpool Street and recalling temporary dockings of what may have been clipper ships somewhere on a Wells quay, or a coal-black cloud chasing us in cagoules along from car parks in Blakeney, eating brown trout at candlelight as an electric storm killed all power in a restaurant that no longer remains or can no longer quite be called to mind, or buying trainers in the 80s from a wood-lined sports shop as the West Indies short-balled the Oval, or taking photos with Brazilians on Jesus Green and beginning to forget already all the people that I'd met, or those in the van that evening, coming back from the gig at the Army and Navy, pressed against the amps and drums, and everyone smoking like they did when we were young, still young, in the 90s, when even the blurring of grey tarmac and fields is just a cipher, nothing more, like trains that fill at Kelvedon, and trains that fill at Chelmsford, and trains that fill at Shenfield and Stratford, or the road to Gallows Corner that is its own kind of estuary, its own kind of sense. I set out to write a series of poems because I was taking almost daily trains to and from London where I'd lived. The daily trains depart from the north and east of Essex where I now live, and I had no idea what they might tell me, or whether someday I might find out. The words over time accrued on office desks, at the bottom of rucksacks and other bags. They became a habitude, alongside weak, expensive coffee from places where I learned people's names, and streets that I found I could take at angles, shaving seconds off routes to save time, and through a process of building and forgetting, and mutating one life into another, or it mutating me. All of this through time. And when you travel, the more you engage with the process, the more you pass things by, and the more they pass by you. And this state of flux is rich with poetry, and in a poem's completion is seeded the impossibility of its completion. And therefore the book that I've been writing is never complete, never going to be complete. And when it gets printed and published, it's a mark in the sand. It's a change of a day. But the book will keep on writing itself while the Scarecrow is standing in the field. Dahlias. I wanted to write of how I got old, but then I caught sight of our dahlias flowering again in October's cold.